Highway fund patch job gets halfway. States with the poorest roads. And housing starts to decline. That and more on Construction News Tracker, brought to you by Caterpillar and produced by 4constructionpros.com. 10 months, that's the extension the House of Representatives has given the nation's road building industry, along with $10.8 billion to fund infrastructure projects, but only through next May. It's a dismal response to calls for raising the nation's gas tax to cover the annual funding shortfall, with only days remaining before that fund is bankrupt. Lawmakers voted 367 to 55 to scrape the money from pension smoothing, extended collection of customs fees, and hazardous waste cleanup fines. During the TCC fly-in last month, hosted by AEM, we talked with many lawmakers, among them former House Transportation Committee Chair John Mica, Republican of Florida, who seeks some sort of a VMT, vehicle miles tax, to replace the gas tax.
Again, you have more cars on the road that are using alternative fuels. They need to pay a fair share, and we need to transition really off of the gas tax to make certain that every user is paying a fair share.
Well, at some point, don't you think we really have to get away from closing this gap every year from the
Well, that would be the best thing. Temporarily, again, you could go to a sales tax. You could have a floor and a cap. You could index it. You could go to getting a return for the user from the source. For example, again, the well, the electric meter, or natural gas source.
The U.S. Senate now has to deal with this hot potato issue as the clock keeps ticking toward an August 1st deadline when both houses recess for the summer. So in a nutshell, there's $10.8 billion to cover the highway fund shortfall for 10 months, but no consideration of a long-term solution to put a solid footing on the future of highway money. This is the 11th time since 2009 that a fund extension has been approved. It's essential that a long-term funding solution, such as a hike in the gas tax, be reached for the health of the industry and American jobs. The transportation nonprofit group TRIP has developed an analysis of states' road and bridge conditions. The group claims 6 states, Connecticut, Rhode Island, West Virginia, Kansas, Hawaii, and Michigan, have 30% or more of their major rural roads in disrepair, or their bridges are deemed structurally deficient. And the group says it can all be traced back to the lack of money earmarked for infrastructure. Meanwhile, TRIP reports that states with the best rural road pavements are Nevada, Florida, and Tennessee. Housing starts and permits suffered a major drop in June, according to the Commerce Department. On top of that, the April stats were revised downward from 7.3 to 6.5%. Groundbreaking for single-family homes is off 9.3%. That's the lowest since November of 2012. Multi-family housing permits were off 14.9%, while those for single-family homes rose only 2.6%. Economists say they're still upbeat for the last half of the 2014 housing market. A $900 million expansion to Volkswagen's Chattanooga, Tennessee complex set to begin soon, after the automaker announced it will build a new SUV model there. The state is kicking in $165 million for construction costs, and the company expects to hire 2,000 additional employees by 2017. 5 of 9 spans of the Cleveland, Ohio Innerbelt Bridge were recently demolished by the Ohio DOT. It took 182 pounds of explosives placed at 88 points along the route and just a half second to send 10 million pounds of steel into the Cuyahoga River. Interstate 90 traffic is using temporary roads as the replacement span is built. Here we are in the middle of summer. We spend valuable weekend time mowing lawn. Well, relief is on the way. An annual Red Dot Design Awards competition is hosted by Appliance Retailer Magazine, and 123 received honorable mention out of 4,800 entries. The one that caught our eye is from Viking Industries, the folks that make the robot vacuum cleaner. IMO uses fixing pins placed along property perimeter as a guide for the mower, and it even goes back to base in the event of rain. Just think, weekends free. Finally, experience is the hardest teacher because it gives you the test first and the lesson afterward. This is Construction News Tracker, watching out for the industry that makes the world a better place. Brought to you by Caterpillar and produced by forconstructionpros.com. Find us on Facebook at /forconstructionpros or Twitter using hashtag Construction News, where you can also leave a comment or share us with friends, as the streaming web never ends.